you all are well. I'm planning to make a very colorful, messy, loose watercolor card today. This is something you can do with your children as well. As we move along, you can see how you can involve your kids in this. Today on my card, I'll be using Peony Dream's 3D die and just one bit from the Rose Flurries 3D die, that is the leafy branch. I already cut my dies off camera. I'll be using just 2 layers of the bigger flower from Peony Dream's die set and a couple of leaves. I'll be using pinks and purples for my flowers and a mix of greens for the leaves. This is going to be a very rough and simple watercoloring session, nothing fancy. You can see I'm being super messy and not really particular about shading. It's just about adding texture and color to your die cut. This is the part where you can have your kids join in. You can ask them to color the die cuts with you or get them to color a big piece of paper or cardstock and then cut out several flowers out of it. For the first layer I'm using purple and on the edges I'll use magenta. I added magenta because my second layer will be pink, so it's a good transition color from purple to pink. The magenta will gel both layers well together. I'll go back and keep adding more layers of watercolor till I get a really vibrant hue. I could have done this in the beginning by picking up more pigment, but I wouldn't have been able to get all that messy texture otherwise. Here I'm just testing out how the layers look together and I'm not really satisfied. So I'll just ink my edges with distress ink that matches the watercolor. Looks so much better now, doesn't it? This tiny little circular shape is the flower center. I think you're supposed to use just the ring one, but I'm using its cutout piece as well so that I can add both orange and yellow to my flower. Now onto the leaves. First I'll wet the leaf and add the brightest yellow color. To this I'll add a yellow-green color. You see, again I'm adding paint splatter. Like I said, I'm doing this to get texture on my die cut pieces, and this also gives a non-uniform watercolor piece. This is that branch I talked about earlier from the Rose Flurries 3D die set. I'll color this the same way as I colored the top layer of the leaves. I realized I needed something extra to add to my floral spray, so I die cut some tiny clusters. These tiny flower clusters will act as fillers. I'm going to color these randomly with yellow, pink, purple, all the colors that I used on the flower. I'll be making my background now. You can completely skip this step since we've already done a lot of watercoloring. I, for one, am known to go over the top, so this works for me. Plus, I also had to share how I make my watercolored backgrounds. I'll start by wetting the panel and add light color washes of this blue hue. To this I'll add a splatter of the same color, various concentration. I'll be adding a minty color to my background as well. This will make your background so much more interesting. I will dry this and show you how incredible it looks. It looks a bit like sea, doesn't it? A hint of green and all the blue. I really like it. I will now start adhering all the layers with Altenew glue tape and start the placement. This is where I struggle the most, and this part in card making takes a lot of my time. I curled my flower petals a bit just by teasing the edges of the petals to make it a bit more interesting and more dimensional. Now I'll add the filler flowers to make my arrangement more fuller and balanced. The sentiment I'm going for is Thinking of You from Pattern Play Circles stamp set. I've cut out the sentiment and added a strip of beautiful Altenew glitter tape in silver to add a bit of sparkle. Now I'll add some confetti and sequins to add more sparkle. After this I'll pop my card front onto the card base and our card is ready. I hope you liked my colorful floral card and enjoyed the messy watercolor process. You can find the product links on the Altenew blog. Link is in the description. That is all from my side today. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon. Bye.